Hi, this is Steve Garland, head wrestling coach at the University of Virginia, giving my Virginia Wrestling weekly video newsletter update. I apologize in advance for the way I look and for my voice. It was a rough trip travel-wise to Vegas and back, but we had a lot of good things, a lot more positive than negatives happen at that tournament. And so I'm going to try to run through weight class order and do the best I can that way, just going through what we did. I'll try to recap it and then preview. This weekend we have a big weekend with Central Michigan on Friday coming in at 7 p.m. and then Princeton the next day at 4 p.m. There's a change there I wanted to note. It's not 1 p.m., it's actually 4 p.m. We're going to be wrestling Princeton, both at Mem Gym, both at home, so we hope you can be there. Back to Vegas. Amazing tournament in a lot of ways, but what you saw at Vegas was, just like I talked about a few videos ago, a young team that's doing so many good things, but then with lacking wisdom and experience, maybe making some mistakes along the way. And we saw that a little bit. Actually, we saw it a lot in close matches late, and I'll get to that. But overall, the story of the tournament was Jay Aiello. Jay Aiello went from unseeded and going 0-2 at the tournament last year to taking third place, going 6-1, knocking off 4 nationally ranked guys, and that's 5 nationally ranked guys in the last 3 weeks he's knocked off. So now he just climbed up into 11th in the current rankings. So pretty amazing turnaround for Jay and pretty amazing weekend. So also at 125, we'll start there. Louis Hayes was seeded 4th in the tournament, and he looked amazing his first 2 matches. I mean, absolutely looked incredible. In third match, round of 16, he's wrestling a guy who he's ranked higher than, and was dominating him the whole match. I think he controlled the pace. I'm sure their coaches would have something else to say about it, but from the match I saw was our guy, basically pouring everything he could, pushing the pace, spent a lot of the time in the match in a front headlock with the other guy in a front headlock, and finally got what would have been the winning takedown late in the match. And he was winning with literally 20 seconds left, and Louis is such an aggressive kid. He's competing in such a way. He's going hard. He's moving forward, reaches. The kid dives in desperation, takes him down with a single leg. Now, you got to give the young man credit. He did a really good job of finishing that single leg late because I think there was only 4 seconds left, 3 seconds left maybe when he finished the shot. And going back to experience and figuring out how to shut down matches, Louis could have definitely been a little smarter, did some shutdown defense, and down blocked and been able to probably score and ice that match. But what I told him after the match is, I want you to be you, and you're an aggressor. You're one of those guys that's always going forward. So we don't want to change who you are. You go forward now, but with a little bit more smarter game plan, knowing he's going to throw a Hail Mary and dive in. So I think he's going to learn a lot from that. Great rebound match. He ended up beating a nationally ranked kid from Northern Iowa, who actually I believe was in the finals last year. His name's Schwarm. He was in the finals of the scuffle ahead of Louis last year. I know that. And Louis just absolutely dominated. Did some amazing things in that match. I think he put up double-digit points, ended up getting a major decision there. So, and then the next match to make it to day 2, he just had a bad match. I think he would agree with that. He went out and he got caught off guard. Young man shot off the whistle, basically. He wasn't ready. Took him down, rode the heck out of us. Louis ended up coming back, throwing him to his back, cutting him within 1. Got in on another ankle pick, and off the ankle pick, he got scrambled to his back. He got beat on a scramble. So it was just not a great situation for him, but he's going to learn a lot from that match. That young man from Missouri is really tough. He's a huge 25-pounder, cutting a lot of weight, and I think that that's going to be a match that's going to help Louis long-term. Obviously, it was a disappointment. Being as good as Louis is, he can be on the podium for sure. Our goal with him is national champion. For him to lose like that was disappointing, but at the same time, this is part of the process, how you learn. 133, Brian Courtney went 2-2. Another, again, young guy mistake, very similar to Louis. He was winning the whole match against the young man from Oklahoma first round, and I kid you not, I think it was like 7 seconds left, got taken down. I mean, at the buzzer. It was like, and it was because he was going forward and being aggressive. So it's just, you can do that, but there's a way to do that and be more technically sound. Then he won 2 matches, did a good job coming back, and ended up getting put out of the tournament by a nationally ranked guy from Purdue. So in a very close match. 141, Sam Krivas did fantastic. He went 6-2 on the weekend. 8 matches. That's very tough to do. For those who don't realize that, at the level we're competing at, the toughest tournament in the nation, in my opinion, besides NCAA's, that is a really tough thing to do. He beat some nationally ranked guys along the way. He got a lot of pins along the way. And we're really proud of him. He actually wrestled the number 7 seed first round and was overtime and ended up coming all the way back. So really proud of what Sammy Krivas was able to do. He's been a force. He's going to be a force at 141 this year. I'm not sure what he's ranked in the national rankings, but I'm sure he's up there. At 149, Martino was our entrant at that weight, and San Martino, we thought, competed his tail off. I mean, He won his first round match, and he wrestled a very highly nationally ranked young man from Michigan and was right in it, right to the end. He actually got put to his back late to blow the match open, but it was right down to the wire every period, and did a great job there. In Wrestleback, same thing. He ended up getting put out, but I think it was a 1-point match, and he wrestled his heart out. So we actually thought he did a really good job of representing himself well. 157, Jay Keating was one of the only down spots of the weekend. He just had a bad day. He just had a bad term. He didn't wrestle well, and that's all I'm going to say about it. But I think that he's just fresh off a tournament championship down south at the Wolfpack Open. We know what he's capable of. He's better than what he showed at that tournament, and hopefully he absolutely has to make adjustments. There's no question about it. So it's a matter of whether he's going to make those adjustments or not. 165, redshirt freshman Cam Coy, again, wrestled really well. Made it to the the placing round on day 2. Lost a heartbreaker in overtime to a young man, a nationally ranked wrestler from Illinois. And he was in on a single leg to win the match, and finishing is a big thing for freshmen. He got the leg up, and he tried. He made kind of a technical error and actually got taken down off his own shot with like 4 seconds left. So that's that experience, and that's that learning how to figure out ways to seal matches and win matches. 174, Robbie Patrick, again, true freshman. He had some great wins and he had some downside. The great wins where he beat a guy who was number 1 or number 2 ranked guy in the country at his weight class coming out of high school from Brown. His name is Bryce Rogers. It was a great win for him. And then he the next round, he ends up having a single leg to win the match against a young man from Virginia Tech. And instead of pulling it in, shelving it like we talk about in here all the time, he dove out. They both go out of bounds. They end up losing the match because of it close. So these guys have to intellectually take what we're showing them and then apply it to their own wrestling. That was a position that was frustrating for us. But again, freshman that's building every week. 184, Will Shaney did fantastic. Will Shaney is now ranked, I believe, 13th or 14th in the nation after that tournament. He knocked off returning All-American Chip Ness, one of the bigger wins of his career. He also knocked off the 7 seed by major decision, I believe. He knocked off another guy who was nationally ranked. So he did a lot of really good things. He looked great. And this is what we've been waiting on Will all season, kind of like, when's that Will Shaney we know and love that started the year last year 10-0? Where's he going to show up? And he did this weekend. So that tournament was a big breakout for Will. It was great to see him leading from the front for our team. We wish he would have ended a little better, but we thought that there was a lot of things to build on off that tournament. Again, 197, to give a shout-out to Jay. He beat the number 2 seed in the round of 16, who, oh, by the way, is ranked 8th in the country. He came back. He beat world team member Bruner from Purdue, who I respect a great deal. I was just out in Romania with that young man a couple weeks ago. The kid's a total stud. He was able to beat him. He was able to have another showdown with the eventual finalist from Nebraska. Crazy, crazy overtime match. He wrestled... Oh, man, who's the other? Oh, he beat Sawyer Root from Citadel, who's nationally ranked. And then, he beat Tom Slay from Virginia Tech, who's nationally ranked. And so that was, I believe, was a major decision as well. So he wasn't just winning. He was winning by bonus points. And just a shout-out to him and a message to all the rest of our wrestlers who hopefully watch this, being stingy on defense, not letting anybody finish on him, fighting for every single point, fighting through fatigue. He was absolutely exhausted in the semifinal match, but he just kept pushing through it. Mentally, he's found a way to be able to compete as hard as he can, just as much in the last 30 seconds as the first. And that's an amazing thing in our sport. And also, he just made a decision on top that I'm going to ride everybody. So we're really, really excited about him and about his development right now. At heavyweight, Quinn Miller started the tournament off with a huge bang, knocked off the number 5 seed as a freshman. That's pretty darn good. A young man who's a good heart from Drexel, who's well known in the wrestling community as being very, very tough. And he was doing great. It was such a big win for him. And in the next round, wrestled a young man from Oklahoma who he had beaten at Vegas last summer, actually, in a freestyle tournament. Gets caught for 6 right off the bat. He got body locked right to his back, hit the back of his head, ended up going out. He ends up getting pinned. Not going out, take that back, but ends up being sort of out of it. He ends up getting, the young man from Oklahoma gets the fall. He comes off the mat, and we had to do concussion protocol, and we were able to pull him from there. He's doing great now, though, and he should be back for this weekend. Obviously, if everything goes well with medical, he'll be back and ready to rock for Friday and Saturday. So, yeah, that's our tournament there. Preview again, Central Michigan's really, really tough. They got tough guys up and down the line, and Princeton just beat Lehigh. Lehigh's ranked in the top 10. It was one of their biggest wins in program history, if not the biggest win. So they're riding high. So we've got our work cut out for us. We need everybody, and I mean everybody with a heartbeat for Virginia wrestling or Virginia in general, to come cheer us on and help us out. Hope to see you there, and go Hoos.